I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into the powerful and timely novel, Jackson's Verdict. It's written by a terrific author. Her name is Lisa Arnoux Brown. This compelling story follows Jackson Wellington and his family as they reconnect each year to celebrate their history, from the slave ship to the modern day challenges. With themes of resilience, justice, and the Black Lives Matter movement, this book highlights one man's vow to break the cycle of unfair treatment and inspire change for future generations. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Lisa, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. This book feels very real, very timely, very 2025, I should say, because we're in 2025 just about right now. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration.
I wrote this book around the time of the Black Lives Matter movement, and so I got a lot of my material from the news and what was going around me.
Great. And that's why it feels so timely because it comes from today's headlines and headlines from a couple of years ago. And
Yes.
tell us a little bit about Jackson Wellington and his quest for justice for his people, basically.
Well, Jackson Wellington, his background is his family are all in the military, so he's very militant. And when he got the inspiration to do what he did in the book, it was because he had come face to face with injustice in the judicial system.
Mm.
So he, as a college student, along with his cousins, they decided they were going to fight back. And so he spearheaded the the law. At the end of the book, it says that they had um, made a bill that became a law against unlawful arrests and stuff like that. But
Wonderful.
yeah, so he was very instrumental in having that done, but it was a hard battle for him and
Mhm.
his cousins, and they had to use a lot of interesting ways to get it done.
Very interesting indeed. And I think we need a law right now to end racial disparity in this nation because it still seems like it is alive and well, unfortunately. What's your experience with yourself, with family members? You mentioned you live on Long Island, which can be a very segregated place. What's your experience when it comes to racial relations in your own life?
I really didn't experience it face to face until actually it wasn't even in New York that I experienced it. I had moved to Massachusetts, and that's when it hit me, and it hit me like, wow, I'm black, So um I did tell someone before after I experienced that, I told them that, I didn't know I was black until that incident because I never came across it. And I guess I was lucky in that respect because some people live it every day.
Just Lisa. You weren't Lisa, a black woman. You weren't Lisa, any other
No,
race. You were just Lisa, right?
I was just Lisa because I work in the medical field. I'm a dialysis tech. And so I work with different people from all kinds of backgrounds. And it never occurred to me that a patient could act towards me the way they did. And that's when I realized that, wow, I'm black. You
Oh,
know,
that's terrible. Also, they're,
Those-
maybe it's an older person, maybe they were senile. They should view you as
no, they
somebody
were they were not that old, but it's just that it's I guess it's a product of how they were brought up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, unfortunately, like I said, prefacing this, prejudice is still alive and well. Racial disparity is alive and well, which is why this book is so powerful. Have you visualized it as a film?
Yes, actually I'm writing a script right now.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think Jackson Wellington would be a great, cool hero for
Yes,
all of America and the world to
yes.
admire in his quest for justice. So I think that would be great. So, who would you have star as Jackson Wellington?
Hmm. Um, I really don't know. I mean, I don't I haven't seen any. Black actors that fit that bill, or maybe they haven't played a part that would mimic that bill, that persona.
If we could make Denzel Washington about 30 years younger, that might work.
Yeah, that would work. That would work.
Exactly.
That
He's
would
a
work.
great actor, no doubt. Any role is good, but he's a little old to play Jackson at this point. Talk to us a little bit about Joshua and Benjamin's relationships with Jackson, and do they support or challenge his vow?
At first, they did not because they know a little bit about how the world works in that respect. And so they didn't see it as Jackson did. Jackson was all about, I want justice, I want justice. And Joshua and Benjamin were more like, you got to do this smart. If you want to do it, you got to do it smart. You have to find other ways to get it done instead of the gung ho attitude that Jackson had.
So
So they were
sometimes,
like his filter.
yeah, exactly. Well, sometimes you need a gun-ho attitude if you're going to get things done because
Yeah,
mild people rarely make a difference in this world. It's the people who are bold and the people who are willing to make a stand that make a difference. Let's talk
exactly.
a little bit about BLM. There's a powerful movement, like you said, especially a few years ago. Controversial, of course. People would say all lives matter. It's not just Black lives. What was your view on BLM and the movement?
I personally didn't participate in the marches or anything like that, but I agreed with a lot of the things that they were bringing up because as a Black person myself, um, you come across things. I started to pay more attention about the attitude people had towards me during that time, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things, which inspired me to write the book because, um, like I said, I really didn't come across racism face to face, but when the Black Lives Matter movement started, then I started to see subtle things in my life and subtle the way people acted towards me or spoke with me that brought it to the forefront.
Yeah. Also, you don't know what you don't know. I mean, you don't know if you're not getting this job. You don't know if you're not getting that table. You don't know if you're not getting that house. You don't
Correct. Yeah.
know what the backstory is. They're telling you one thing and might be doing another. And that's
Right.
the insidious nature of racism, of course, and why we often say it's institutionalized as well. Have you been able to trace your family tree back to slavery or anything? Because I know this deals with the history of this
Um,
family.
I thought about it, but I do think that I do have slavery in my background because my family on both my parents' side are from Haiti. So that island was basically for slaves. So I know that I come from that. I just haven't traced to see where or what tribe, or anything like that. But it's something I'm going to be looking into soon.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting to find out, no doubt. How many generations have you been here from Haiti? Were your parents born in Haiti?
As a fact, my mother was born in Cuba and my father was
Mhm.
born in Haiti. So
Okay.
I am the first generation to be in America.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, both are troubled places, Cuba and Haiti. Haiti is a beautiful
Yes.
country, but there, you know, a lot of tribalism and a lot of problems in Haiti, unfortunately, right?
Yes, yes, there
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Um, is this the first book you've ever written? Are you planning on writing more? Tell us a little bit about your writing career.
I started writing um very young. I used to keep diaries, and
Mhm.
when I was in high school, I used to write on the school newspaper. But I've always been an avid reader, so I read everything and anything. And then I decided that, wow, I could, do something better. So I started writing. My first book was published in 2005. I have the series called In the Line of Duty, not to be mistaken for that show.
Okay.
There's six of them. I'm working on the seventh um, installment. I have a series called Bright Blades. Oh wow. I have a series, it's a sci-fi series. There's three of them, and I'm also writing the fourth one. I have three inspirational books totally. So I have a total of 13 books published so far.
Amazing. So you're the busiest woman in show business writing all these books, huh?
Yes, I work during the day and I write at night.
It's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you're still doing the dialysis technician work?
Um, Actually, I stopped working as a dialysis tech last year.
Mm,
Was involved in a bad accident, so I'm still
I'm sorry.
recovering, but
Right.
I hope to go back to it soon.
Yeah, well, the people who are lucky enough to have you as a dialysis technician are blessed because they spend a lot of time there and they need a lot of good-hearted people like yourself. My dad was on dialysis for the last 10 years of his life, so I know what it's
Yeah.
like to go there 3 days a week for hours and hours. And it was cheerful, joyful, good people like yourself who sustained him and made him feel like it wasn't that bad. So that's great. So thank you for doing that work. And thank you for publishing this beautiful book. I think it's so important. I think it's such a great part of the American experience to have a hero like Jackson Wellington, who is fighting a good fight, fighting a just cause. Before we leave you today, anything else you'd like the folks at home to know about this book, your other books, your life, your work? Tell us a little bit more if you'd like before we leave you.
Um, I would like that anybody who reads this book, what they should come away with is that we're all human. Underneath the skin color, the hair color, or whatever culture, that we're all human. And if they could make a change, just one change, if each person who reads the book makes a little change or makes a little adjustment, then we will have a better human race.
Agreed, 100% here, here. Small incremental changes result in big changes, particularly if everybody embraces them. So that's great advice. The name of the book we've been talking about today is Jackson's Verdict. It is a compelling story that follows Jackson Wellington and his family as they reconnect each year to celebrate their history, from the slave ship to modern day challenges, with themes of resilience, justice, and the BLM movement. This book highlights one man's vow to break the cycle of unfair treatment and inspire change for future generations. Lisa, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate your time, your wit, your wisdom, and your insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on Spotlight.